Have you ever heard of the Bilderberg Group?
No, never.
Have you ever heard of the Bilderberg Group?
The Bilderberg Group, the apex of the world government power structure.
A shadow world government called the Bilderberg Group.
Bilderberger.
The Bilderberg Group.
The Bilderberg Group.
The official website of the Bilderberg Group.
Could you tell us what went on at the Bilderberg meeting?
The Bilderberg Group meeting.
When we have the meeting of the Bilderberg Group.
Bilderberg is heavily involved in the EU plan.
In 1954, the elite of the planet had a secret meeting at the Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, the Netherlands. The name of the Bilderberg Group is derived from the place where they first met, the Hotel de Bilderberg. But who were these people, and why did they start to meet annually after 1954? According to the official statements of the group, the meeting was initiated by politicians and leading experts from industry, finance, and the media who were concerned about the rise of anti-Americanism in Western Europe. So, they say that the goal was to bring European countries and the United States closer together. Since 1954, around 120 to 150 members of the elite have been meeting every year in different European and American cities. The group sends out invitations every year, which means that a lot of the attendants are not permanent members of the Bilderberg Group and might get invited for several years in a row, occasionally, or even just once in their lifetime. They state that nowadays the meeting is a forum of informal discussions about so-called megatrends and major issues facing the world. Now you might think that this sounds pretty understandable and reasonable, and since everyone talks about it, you might ask yourself, what is so secret about this? The interesting part about it is that the meetings used to be secret and received little to no media coverage. At first, no one knew that this meeting was being held annually, and later, in the 80s and 90s, an occasional line might have been found in the local newspapers of the places where the meeting was to be held. But the media coverage was always so poor that the general public never got to know about the Bilderberg meetings. With the advent of the internet and the alternative media, it became impossible to keep the Bilderberg meetings a secret, which led to a more open policy of the Bilderberg Group. Most of the official information about the annual meetings became known to the general public after the dawn of the internet age. Now there is plenty of information available on the Bilderberg Group. Not only can everyone read official information on the official Wikipedia article, but a few years ago the group launched a website, probably to prove the bad conspiracy theorists wrong and show that they have nothing to hide. That's what we may call fake transparency. On their website you can find, along with general information, a frequently asked questions section where they also answer the question about why there is so little media coverage on the Bilderberg meetings. And their answer is, to use simple words, that since no one ever cared, they figured that the general public isn't interested. Now this answer is as simple as it is ridiculous. I find it so hard to believe that no one ever cared, since the media always makes a big deal when one of our politicians travels to some place to attend a meeting. And now they're trying to say that the media or the people don't care when 150 members of the self-proclaimed elite meet to do whatever they say they do? Yeah, right. Nice try, Bilderberg. However, even the website gives us a small hint showing that nothing is as it seems. Even if there are official lists of the invitees on the website also says that the meetings are held under the Chatham House rule, meaning that neither the identity nor the affiliation of the participants has to be revealed. On Wikipedia you can also find the information that a source connected to the group told the Daily Telegraph in 2013 that other individuals whose names are not publicly issued sometimes turn up just for the day at the group's meetings. This means that even if the Bilderberg website publishes a list of the participants, it is likely that quite a few important names will be left out. After a rather long introduction in which I mostly talked about what the Bilderberg Group officially says, I'm going to proceed to talk about the more interesting aspects of the annual meeting and why it qualifies as a secret meeting. Here is one of the most interesting facts. In 2009, the WikiLeaks website released documents from the 1955 Bilderberg meeting which took place in Germany. As we can read here, the leaked documents discuss the agenda to create a European Union and a single European currency, decades before they were introduced, disproving once again so-called debunkers who claim that the Bilderberg Group has no influence over world events. In March 2009, the then Bilderberg chairman, Etienne Davignon, bragged about how the Bilderberg Group helped create the euro by first introducing the policy agenda for a single currency in the early 90s. The truth is that the Bilderberg Group had decided that the European Union was going to be formed and that there would be a European currency more than 30 years before it was first codified in the 1992 Maastricht Treaty. This is mind-blowing. They have been working behind the scenes for nearly 40 years. They had a plan and they managed to carry it out. We are talking about the formation of the European Union, one of the greatest and probably hardest political achievements in history, if we think about how Europe has been in an almost constant state of war for the last hundreds, if not thousands of years. Who would have thought that a group of a mere 100 people could decide the fate of so many different countries? And who would have thought that a few hundred people working behind the scenes have probably ruled our world for the last decades? And by the way, these are not individuals who the people have voted for or have designated to take decisions. We are talking about a few politicians and people from the economy, media, and the financial sector. But who are these people? Let's take a look at some of the official members of the Bilderberg Group. We will look at those who are known to have been invited to a meeting at least once. The official website has released a list of the steering committee, which should be the people who are there every year. And here we have people in very high positions, like the chairman Henri de Castrier, who is chairman and CEO of the insurance company AXA. Then we have Paul Achleitner, chairman of the supervisory board of the Deutsche Bank, which, by the way, has been involved in quite a few scandals these last years. The list goes on and on. Look, there's even the Ryanair guy. And you can Google every name on the list and you'll see that these people have pretty prestigious positions. And look who's here. We have a special person here, none other than David Rockefeller. This name should speak for itself, being one of the most powerful men on the planet. Looking at the incomplete Wikipedia invitee list of the Bilderberg meetings, there are other interesting names with some dates. Here we have a lot of royals. For some reason, not every royal gets invited to the meetings. I wonder what the invitations are based on. And along with some important politicians and dates, there is a specific one that immediately got my attention. Angela Merkel attended the Bilderberg meeting of May 2005, which took place in Germany. The interesting part is that only later that year, in November 2005, she became the German Chancellor. Some might say that it might have been predictable that she would become the Chancellor, but I find this highly suspicious. And why wouldn't the Bilderberg wait until next year? Why would they invite her only before the election? This is only one of many clues. Another interesting fact is this one. Most ministers of finance get invited to the Bilderberg meetings. The question is, why? It's like they get told what they have to do there. But I don't want to speculate too much here. I just want to make you think about it and decide on your own. Speaking of finance ministers, the former French finance minister Christine Lagarde, who now is the managing director of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, also attended the Bilderberg meeting at least once. Another interesting case would be the one of José Luis Rodríguez Zapatero, the former Prime Minister of Spain, who only got invited to the meeting of 2010, even if at the same time he had been Prime Minister for 6 years already. Only 1 year later, he he retired from office. There are a lot of similar cases, but everyone can look those up for themselves. If you thought that the Merkel coincidence was just that, a coincidence, I have another one for you. This one is not only listed on the Wikipedia page, but is also listed on the official Bilderberg website. Among the participants in June 2012, there was also John Kerry, who at that time was a senator from Massachusetts. Only later that year, Kerry got nominated to succeed Hillary Clinton as a Secretary of State. Why would Kerry get invited to the Bilderberg meeting of 2012? No other US senator was invited to the meeting. Just him, John Kerry, who happened to become Secretary of State just a few months after the Bilderberg meeting he attended. And Wikipedia states clearly that on December 15, 2012, several news outlets reported that President Barack Obama would nominate Kerry to succeed Hillary Clinton as the Secretary of State after Susan Rice, widely seen as Obama's preferred choice, withdrew her name from consideration. No one actually seemed to sense that Kerry would become the new Secretary of State, and no one but the Bilderberg Group. They either knew it or they decided it that year. Either way, the Bilderberg Group seems to have important information no one else has and possibly plans important events ahead of time, while the people think that everything just happens by accident. And these were only a few of the interesting coincidences surrounding the Bilderberg meetings. The list could go on, but it is not the purpose of this video. The purpose was explaining what the Bilderberg Group is and why it is much more than the official statements want you to believe. Since I'm recording this video in May 2016, the next Bilderberg meeting will take place in less than a month from now, from June 9 to June 12, 2016 in Dresden, Germany. By the way, June 12th is also the 101st birthday of David Rockefeller, so they'll have a lot to celebrate on that day. The most meetings took place in remote locations, like the 2011 meeting in St. Moritz, Switzerland. That meeting was held at a hotel on a mountain, so it was pretty distant from crowded places and it was really private. This year, the meeting will take place at the Taschenberg Palais, a hotel located in the historic district of Dresden. It's basically in the center of the city this time. There are people who try to interpret things and ask themselves why the Bilderberg Group would choose this exact location over another. A remarkable fact is that the last time the meeting took place in Germany, in 2005, they invited Angela Merkel, who then became the German Chancellor. So what if this time the meeting is a symbol to end Merkel's rule over Germany? After all, there will be elections in Germany next year. Some people pointed out that after last year's Bilderberg meeting in Austria, Austria had a pretty rough year with the migration crisis and political turbulence. And the Austrian Chancellor Werner Faymann, who also attended the Bilderberg meeting at some point, just retired from office, by the way. But the location of the meetings could mean so much, or it could simply mean nothing at all. The only thing that we know is that the Bilderberg Group is not the innocent group of people who meet every year to just talk about a few topics and then head back home. And now you may ask, what is the ultimate goal of the Bilderberg Group? What are these people striving for? And the answer might be as simple as this. They want a one-world government. On the other hand, no one can fully know their agenda, and even if the one-world government might be their goal, we cannot know what the other steps towards it will be. Some people say the total enslavement of the people will happen before the one-world government is established. Others say that the population has to be drastically reduced before they can establish the one-world government. Since the Bilderberg had the formation of the European Union on their agenda, the formation of other so-called superstates is likely. Something like a North American superstate might be the next step towards the formation of a one-world government. The theory is that they will fight nationalism by merging more and more states into a few superstates to then finally unite those under one world government. When asked about it in 2001, Dennis Healy, a Bilderberg Group founder, said, "To say we are striving for a one world government is exaggerated, but not wholly unfair. Those of us in Bilderberg felt we couldn't go on forever fighting one another for nothing and killing people and rendering millions homeless. So we felt that a single community throughout the world would be a good thing. This might be interpreted as an admission. It's like he's finding a reason to justify the formation of a one-world government, which makes it likely to be one of the main goals of the Bilderberg Group. As you could see in this video, the Bilderberg Group is a group which acts like something it's not. The group has been shown to be involved in major political changes around the world, such as the formation of the European Union, and it does have, in contrast to what is stated on the official website, a clear agenda which is followed in order to reach secret goals. If you like this video, please leave a comment, discuss it, share it, and subscribe. See you soon.